This is what it means to be the operant power in your reality and why you will understand that circumstances absolutely don't matter. Everything's working in your favor. This is a great video. Stick around for the end. All right, welcome to Patty's World. I'm Patty. I'm a transformational coach and manifestation coach, and I help you step into the highest version of you so that you align with all the desires of your heart because you're absolutely worthy. And here's the key thing. I help you shift into the powerful version of you, the elevated version of you who loves himself and knows her worth and value. And from this elevated place, you on the pedestal, you align with all the desires of your heart. And you do it with ease. It's like strengthening a muscle. The more you practice this mindset, it's a deeply profound, different way of thinking. It's a lifestyle change. It's something you do every day to reprogram your mind and live life this way. Understanding of the operant power, that whatever you're observing, whatever you're believing in your mind, whatever you're telling yourself, whatever you're believing, whatever you're assuming, you're the only observer. So whatever story you're creating in the mind, you're pushing that out. And the world outside of you, the 3D, the world of the five senses, is reflecting it back to you, the mirror. You're always the cause. The outside world is the effect. When you understand law of assumption and that this is how it works at its most simple, basic level, you will understand that you create from within. And here's a powerful thing. When you understand you're the operant power, that means you have power. You get to decide if something in your 3D shows up and you default to negative because this is the way you've practiced yourself to be, or you've trained yourself to be. And I just want to let you know that however you've trained yourself to be, you can always shift, you can always change. Nothing is set in stone. Again, circumstances don't matter. When you understand circumstances don't matter, then it's very easy to say, no, I don't prefer this. No, thank you. Not in my reality. I'm the exception. And then let me shift into what do I prefer? If I could wave a wand right now and I had what I desired and it worked out in my favor, who would I be? And you being the observer, the one who creates meaning, who attaches the story in your mind, you assume the new version of you who has what they desire. You embody it. You operate from this place, which is all concept of self, which is believing and knowing your worth and value. And here's the thing that I want you to understand. And that people, once you get this and it becomes easy, like second nature, then here are the things you'll start to notice that I noticed within myself. You become more confident because you're so secure and certain and you know who you are. You stop looking for approval in people and things outside of you. And I can always tell deeply insecure people that are very insecure and are motivated by external validation and approval. And I used to be, because I was all about accomplishment and perfectionism. And the more I did and what I wore and what I carried, I thought that would get me approval. Once I got into this, it transformed my life because I understood whatever I was looking outside myself for, love, a sense of worthiness, a sense of love, being included, I had to first give myself. I had to first anchor that version of me in, the version of me who loves herself, who likes her own company, who values herself, who knows her worth and value, who appreciates herself, who doesn't need approval and validation outside of me. Why? Because I am connected to God, to source, that God within. I have it from within. I'm worthy because I'm worthy. And I don't need anyone to give it to me. And when I embody this version of me and live from this place, here is the interesting thing, the irony, which feels counterintuitive, is that people show up reflecting this version of me, giving it to me naturally. They show up treating me better. It elevates all my circumstances and the people I interact with. Because law of resonance, you will resonate with experiences of people at the level of self-concept where you are. When you have a low self-concept, people will show up reflecting that back to you. When you level up your concept of self, people will show up reflecting that. Everything stems from you. So I always say this, become the love of your own life. Love your own life, love yourself, raise your standards, give yourself that sense of worth and value that you're looking in, that relationship, that job, whatever it is, give it to yourself where you're not operating from a void. And And I promise you, the world outside of you will transform. You're no longer needy. You're no longer operating from a giant void within, going to 20 million people and tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. You're asking everybody outside of you what their opinion and what you should do. Why? Because you're disconnected from yourself. You're disconnected from that God within you, from your higher power, from source. When you find and tap into that connection, you won't need to ask anybody for anything. You're okay with yourself. You like your own company. You don't feel lonely. You don't need to be around a million people. I hear something else I observed. People who have like a million friends and they can't be alone, they're operating from lack and neediness because they're not okay with who they are. When you heal that and you step into the version of you that is whole and complete and healed, then it comes to you naturally. People show up reflecting that. And here's something else. And this is, I heard another creator talking about this on TikTok, the purge. If you've been really working on your self concept, and this has happened to me, I've been elevating my self concept. You may go through a purge where people, because you're elevating what you believe and assume about yourself. And so as you purge, you have different assumptions and belief you've anchored in a new self concept. And so people will fall out of your life. There may be the shift and the shuffle and the shakeup in your external reality. Don't give it a negative meaning. Remember, you're the one who attaches meaning to everything. This is movement. Celebrate it. Get excited because it's always working in your favor. People will fall out. That's okay. You are no longer aligned with them. Wish them well. Bless them to Jesus. Everything's working in your favor. Send them love because as you elevate, you resonate with new experiences. And some people may fall off or they show up differently. That's okay because new, more elevated people and experiences will show up reflecting who you are. You will also, I'll tell you something else that happens. You will also not be triggered from anything anyone says, anyone's opinion. You will no longer feel the need or the urge to prove your point, to argue for your worth and value, to seek external approval or validation because you know who you are. When you know who you are from within and you're certain and you've anchored this version of you in, other people's opinions are just that, like, whatever. I know who I am when you're certain in who you are. And then so, it changes your whole external world. It's a process. But if something undesired shows up, you're not shaken, you're not blown by external experiences. Now, if something shows up, I'm like curious about it. Okay, this showed up. What am I believing? What is this showing me about me? What am I still holding on to? What do I need to let go? And what do I need to shift and change and reprogram with new beliefs? And then take myself to the wish fulfilled. If I could take myself to a place of this works out in my favor because everything's always working out in my favor because I always get what I want. I always get what I want. Some way, somehow, everything always works out in my favor. And I'm surrounded by people who love me and support me and uplift me and amplify who I am. And people that are loyal and honest, mutually reciprocal relationships with healthy people. Here's a new one I've had recently. I only have relationships with people who are healed and whole and work on themselves. And so it's incredible the people that are showing up in my life just naturally. Law of resonance. You resonate with whatever concept of self you have. So always work on you. And remember that the mirror, the 3D, is just information. It's information showing you something, a limiting belief that you have. And anytime I'm going through a shakeup or a shuffle, not the purge, but a shakeup or a shuffle, a readjustment in my 3D reality, I'm like, I'm getting ready to level up. I'm getting ready to level up. I'm letting go of old beliefs and old versions of me. Nope. And then I just delete them in my mind. Okay, this is gone. This isn't me anymore. This is no longer me. I step into my new identity. Who am I being? Who am I being? And who am I? I am healed. I am whole. I am complete. I am confident. I am secure. I am safe. I have safe relationships with people who love and support me and are honest and want the best for me. I have amazing clients. I have an amazing marriage. I have amazing friends. I have an amazing life. And my life keeps getting better and better and better. And I'm living the life and the lifestyle that I deserve, that I'm worthy of, because at the core, I believe in my worth and value. And when I operate from that core belief that I know my worth and value, I no longer seek it in people outside of me. And listen, if this triggers you, because I said, if you're still seeking external validation in the text, in the phone call from your SP, you need him to call you, you need him to approve of you, you need him to validate you. friends, family, whoever, if you're still seeking for approval and validation, someone to tell you that you're okay, then you're operating from low self-concept, from lack, from a void within you that there's something wrong with you. And there isn't. Because when you operate from the belief that there's something wrong with you, you're going to push that out, and then people will show up reflecting that. So always operate from the assumption that I'm connected to God, to source. God doesn't make mistakes. God brought me into this world because I have purpose and value. I am whole, I am healed, I am complete. It is society, it is culture that programs us when we're kids to believe that we're not worthy and deserving. Once you release those limiting beliefs and let them go and say, okay, I'm living my highest purpose, to be of service, to give back, to love and support. And sometimes we love people from afar. I don't wish anyone bad. Listen, I love and I send out love and blessings, but I keep myself on the pedestal. I respect my time. I know my worth and value. I know with who I align with and who I don't. And just I allow things to come and to go. And it is what it is. And it's a beautiful place to be. You stop looking and searching for approval in people and things outside of you. In relationships, the codependency leaves. I no longer need someone to approve of me or validate me. I know who I am because the God within, I'm connected to power, to source, to the God of my understanding. And I know my worth and value, and I know what I'm worthy of and deserving of. And my standards are up here. That means that you operate from a place where you're on the pedestal. You push that out as the operant power because you're the observer. You're the one attaching meaning. You're the one creating the story. You push that out, and I promise you, that's the transformation. The world outside of you, the mirror will reflect it back to you. And when you understand and finally start to see the evidence of creating from within, it'll transform who you are. It'll transform everything, everything. So this is an important video because I want you to know that operant power means that, yes, you're the creator of your reality. You're the one attaching meaning. So what if you assume that everything's working in your favor, that whatever's showing up, I don't know how, but some way, somehow, this is going to work in my favor. Everything works in my favor. This is a good thing. This is guidance. This is direction. This is redirection. I'm moving in this direction. My soul, my heart is pulling me this way. This is where I feel led. I'm following my bliss. I'm following my highest passion, as Bashar teaches, or Abraham Hicks. Feel good about it. We know when something is for us and we know when something isn't because we've connected to that internal voice, our intuitive power from within, which is God talking to us. And we know, we just know. You have certainty, you have knowing in who you are. So work on that, amplify that, magnify that. It will transform your life. All right. Thanks for joining me on this video. And I'd love to hear from you and any input on this video, and we'll see you on the next one.